So Sanjeev Verma sir, you are part of the university, but on behalf of the participants, I welcome you to this session. For the benefit of participants and those who will be getting the recorded version, I want to bring it on record that Sanjeev Verma sir is out and out a man of systems. And it is he who could make me understand the difference between system and systems. So jocularly he told, but then that was the absolute truth, that anybody who is having machine and people together is taking care of the system, and minus people, it is systems only, the machines. So yesterday people were having certain questions. So normally I request Sanjeev Verma sir, we had been colleagues earlier also, we are colleague again. So I'll not take enough of his time because participants might like to listen to him more. So one thing that I want to inform the participants is that there are certain people who are passionate about that. So Sanjeev Verma sir is a person who is passionate about systems. So it's all over to you, Verma sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My screen is visible?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start in a minute.
No problem. Take your own time.
Okay.
Everybody is at ease, at home, and better.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Verma sir, you can go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Everybody can hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
O- Okay. So this is the second day of the program Andon in HR for Industry 5 and beyond. And in continuation with the uh, courses we have in this program, today I'm going to discuss with you for strategic human capital in the context for Andon in HR for Industry 5 and beyond. Uh, this we will discuss in this fashion. These are the contents of the discussions which we'll have in the next 1 hour. I'll briefly delve into what is Industry 5, why is it necessary, and what are the benefits of Industry 5. And most of the discussions will be in the context of the human capital and what is the relationship of humans in with the Industry 5 that we will discuss. So first of all, the three topics will be on Industry 5, why is it necessary, benefits of industry, and then we'll go on to why there is a need for a human touch, how can industry align the priorities, and what is the future of human capital, and what are the practices which can be adopted by the industry to have a good relationship between machines and humans. So what is the term Industry 5? The term Industry 5 refers to people working alongside robots and smart machines. It is about robots helping humans work better and faster by leveraging advanced technologies like Internet of Things. So what is the main difference between Industry 4 and Industry 5 is that Industry 5 adds a personal human touch to the Industry 4. And Industry 4 which was about only automation and efficiency. So now in Industry 5, we are adding a human touch to it. Now Industry 5 is a new production model where the emphasis lies on the interaction between humans and machines. Hello. I hope everybody can hear me. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So the previous Industry 4 emerged with the arrival of automation technologies, IoT and smart factory. Industry 5 takes the next step, which involves leveraging the collaboration between increasingly powerful and accurate machinery and the unique creative potential of the human being. The phase that came before Industry 5 has seen the emergence of digital industry, advancements such as the IoT, mean industrial Internet of Things, or the combination of artificial intelligence and big data. And this have generated a new type of technology that can offer companies a database knowledge. This has in turn translated into processes such as operating intelligence and business intelligence, and which generates models that apply technology with aims on making increasingly accurate and less uncertain decisions. However, during this phase in Industry 4, the goal has been to minimize human involvement. And this point should be noted that during this phase in Industry 4, the goal has been to minimize human involvement and prioritize process automation. So human touch was very minimal in this. To a certain extent, humans have been set in a position where they competed against machines, casting the former aside in a myriad of scenarios. Now, in this case of Industry 5, this trend has been reversed. Now, the objective in the Industry 5 is to strike a balance whereby the machine human interaction can offer the highest benefits. I repeat, now the objective in the Industry 5.0 is to have a balance whereby the machines and human interaction can offer the highest benefits. So that is the brief how we have progressed from Industry 4 to Industry 5 by having a human touch. Now, why is it was necessary? The point is the changes which have been set by Industry 5.0, they are already irreversible. This process offers companies the abilities of increasingly powerful machines in combination with better trained experts. So number one point why it is necessary is that companies now have the abilities with the Industry 5.0, now they have the abilities of increasingly powerful machines in combination with better trained experts. And number two, now Industry 5.0 is not a fad that this is a new concept and it will go away. It's not like that. But rather the pandemic, the recent pandemic, we have learned from it that how can we have a new way of understanding manufacturing that has productive, economic, and commercial consequences. Therefore, companies that do not tailor their production to the Factory 5.0 model will soon become obsolete, being unable to benefit from the competitive advantages that it has to offer. The third point is rate of technological acceleration is increasingly faster, and it shows that the emergence of new paradigms never stops. For this reason, adjusting the process of each company and transforming them into the concept of digital industry will be vital in guaranteeing that an organization remains competitive. So Industry 5, sooner or later, the competitive, efficient industries, they have to adopt 5.0. Now, next is what are the benefits of Industry 5.0? The first one is the cost optimization. Industry 5.0 takes over past improvements that since the first industrial revolution have generated more effective processes. The search for business models that use the least resources to obtain the highest profits find in Factory 5.0 their highest level of perfection to date, since man and machine work together to make the best financial decisions for the company. Number two, greener solutions. None of the previous industrial transformations has focused on protection of the environment, and that's very important. They never, in Industry 4 or before that, no industry took the protection of environment as a priority. Now with Industry 5.0, new corporate technologies and sensitivities are changing this trend. This has led to the emergence of sustainable policies where, for example, a minimal generation of waste and its management becomes essential. Cross-cutting processes also making the organization more effective. And this shift, it is in line with what international organizations, government regulations, and consumers have been increasingly demanding. Now, next is personalization and creativity. Now, technological innovation does not allow for a degree of personalization that meets the demand of the customers. The personnel, and that's very important, The personnel that is a part of Industry 5.0 will leverage the potential of technology, but also will find room to add their own ideas that led to a product that is developed with personalization in mind. Furthermore, the automation achieved during Industry 4 allows workers to free themselves from certain repetitive tasks. And that was the focus of the Industry 4, focusing on crafting more powerful strategies or apply their creativity. Now, our topic was today's topic was strategic human capital in the context of Industry 4. Now, what is required? In Industry 4, we already had the technology. Now, what we are adding over here is the trained personnel. Now, what is now Factory 5 has brought about the role of Chief Robotics Officer. Now, this person specializes in the interaction between machines and operators, and also has knowledge in fields such as robotics and artificial intelligence. His role is in the company implies making decisions around these factors. Now, important point I spoke about is this person, which is the Chief Robotics Officer. Its specialization is in machines and operators. So machines and humans. Now, the training of employees will also take a leap forward with virtual education becoming widespread. And World University is at the right place to provide education, to provide training for Industry 5.0. Now, this allows for lower cost for companies since it does not require production to be stopped to train its employees. In addition, this also leads to safer training that prevents workers from being exposed to unnecessary risk during training. Communication and employee motivation are also boosted by the resulting interactive learning environments. And that's what our motto is of World University. The generation of a myriad of employment positions related to the interaction with robotic systems and artificial intelligence, among other technologies, are also expected. Now, right technology, much has been said about this technology even in the yesterday's session, so I'll skip that and we'll come to the next, why we need a human touch in Industry 5.0. Now, the concept of human and machines working in tandem could be possible when we break the manufacturing assembly line into two parts, using robots for repetitive and labor-intensive work and using humans for customization and thinking radically out of the box. Now, Japan, for example, they define Industry 5.0 as Society 5.0. That is a human touch revolution, a human-centered society that balances economic advancement with the resolution of social problems by a system that highly integrates cyberspace and physical space. The phenomena visualizes a forward-looking society and without information stagnation. Therefore, unlike how science fiction movies portray the future, digitalization would not make humans in the industrial production obsolete. Instead, it would integrate intelligent automation, devices, and systems at the workplace to elevate cooperation and collaboration between humans and machines. It would also help highly skilled workers to guide, important word is guide smart machines and robots and work better and faster alongside collaborative bots and cobots. Now, Industry 5.0 would solve the necessity for personalization and mass customization of products for customers. It would stimulate and apply human intelligence and thought processes in computers a process known as cognitive computing. The cobots of smart factories would also be smart enough to understand the human operators' needs and decide whether they need assistance and help them accordingly. Now, further, it would benefit the workforce in two ways: upskilling and providing value-added tasks in production. It would also combine intelligent systems to the existing workflows to better leverage human creativity and brain power and improve operational efficiencies. Therefore, the focus on factories would be less on mass production, automation, and digitalization, which were the core elements of Industry 4.0. Now, what are the priorities for human management in the Industry 5.0? Now, the concept and principles of digital transformation have been explored at length in recent years. Most executives have gained fluency in the capabilities of technology and digital business. Now, building upon those foundations of Industry 4.0, it's prudent to focus on incorporating the principles of human centricity, resilience, and sustainability. Now, how can we reorient for human centricity? There are several dimensions to advancing human-centric business. The first and the top priority should be attracting and retaining talent, particularly to technology-centered organization. Human capital is the most strategic asset, and businesses will need to accommodate the growing cohort of Gen Z and millennials' changing needs. For younger generation of workers, the commitment to environmental and social factors becomes increasingly important in their choice of employer. And this may include a commitment to community initiatives, flexible working arrangements, and the cultivation of historically underrepresented minorities in leadership roles. This human-centric vision also critically involves rethinking how workers and machines collaborate. Rethinking how workers and machines collaborate. Now, traditionally, static manufacturing processes can be updated with new collaborative robotics. In short, cobots, C-O-B-O-T-S, cobots, with line workers empowered to exercise greater flexibility in production. Now, then worker safety and health can also be improved with advanced monitoring capabilities and ergonomic design. Now, healthy and happy workforce with opportunities for creative, personal, and professional advancement is likely to create lasting value for the business. So the main theme of reorienting for human centricity is by some ways can be commitment to community initiatives, flexible working arrangements, and giving opportunities to the people for the leadership roles, and rethinking how workers and machines collaborate. Now, next point is, how can we have bolstered resilience? Now, recently, in the COVID pandemic, businesses have been forced to cope with increased uncertainties and adapt to cope with the change. We have been forced. Now, it is important for organizations to engage in planning exercise that account for potential disruptions across the value chain, from the factory floor to the supplier network, to transportation channels, to regulatory and geopolitical change. Now, digital technologies and methodology, I mean to say simulations and AI enhanced modeling, they can help identify optimal alternative paths in the event of disruption, weighing different factors such as cost, substitution, quality, and logistical concerns into the mix. Now start with the identifying and greater points of vulnerability. It can be in the process of the supply chain, isolate the key inputs, and then formulate contingency planning for any disruptions. It is better to have a plan and not need it than be caught unprepared. The next point is sustainability. Now, with a growing regulatory and investor emphasis on reducing carbon emissions and environmental impact, businesses need to evaluate their resources footprint. This may involve analyzing the sources of raw materials, proportion of waste generation, along with an evaluation of the environmental impact and energy efficiency of processes, as well as the source of energy. Many firms have committed to specific reductions of fossil fuels and clean energy generation sources. Additionally, the adoption of new materials and composites, they can reduce environmental impact and the carbon footprints while increasing the practices of recycling and repurposing materials can also help to achieve objectives. Now, preparing for Industry 5.0, there are multiple forces arraying to compel businesses to adapt the core principles of human centricity, resilience, and sustainability. It is far better to take the opportunity to prepare ahead of time rather than react to an unanticipated shock to the system. Beyond better, cheaper, and faster, the technology enhanced mantra Industry 5.0 promises lead the next generation into a balance of decisions that support smarter, cleaner, and more resilient industries. Now, what is the future of human capital management? Now, how can we embrace the human capital management? Number one is the embrace technology and analytics. Now, through a personalized, millennials who now make up the majority of the workforce are accustomed to receiving information quickly by computer or smartphone. To meet the digital customer experience that younger workers desire, a wide range of employee experiences should be provided online. For example, from application to onboarding to checking benefits and paid time off, and HR should be in charge of this effort. HR will have more time for strategic planning now that they are freed from routine responsibilities. For example, payroll. No longer human intervention is required in this. Answering benefit inquiries. I mean, this can also be automated through chatbots and scheduling interviews. All this can be automated. So HR should refocus itself to give the younger workers what they desire. HR should be able to provide employee experiences. Second point is understand how the company succeeds. Now, it's not enough that to know how to communicate in HR terminologies or jargons. Human resource professional must understand and contribute to the company's vision, goal, and financial success. Otherwise, senior executives will not take them seriously. Experts warn that they won't be able to implement efficient workforce planning or recruit, hire, or train the necessary individuals on a practical basis. Now, HR leaders, they must grasp the company's strategic direction as well as the economic and social environment in which it operates. And in addition to know the stock price and how to read a profit and loss statement. Now, changes in work and workforce must be anticipated and prepared for. Only then will HR leaders be able to properly take on the future of human capital management and align their organizational goals with HR initiatives. Now, HR professionals, they need to understand something about how businesses and companies work. What does the CEO worry about? What does the CFO worry about? As HR moves into the senior management cubicles, it needs to start acting like part of the executive team. And third point is stay focused on people. Embracing technology does not imply that humans are no longer relevant. HR managers will have more time to focus on individuals in 2025, which will improve both recruiting and retention. HR might evolve into what author Goldstein refers to as talent brokers or coaches who help everyone at the business navigate their unique careers. And with this severe war for talent, successful HR managers, they must provide a compelling rationale for top employees to join their company. If you don't have a worldwide business strategies yet, you will be competing with international companies for the top people. You must create an atmosphere in which people enjoy being there and cannot imagine being somewhere else. Next point is be ready for the new workforce, not just transient employees. In a recent survey, 60% of millennials said that they are open to new job options. But also, there are other workers who come and go on a daily basis. They will make up the workforce in 2025. Furthermore, HR will be required to assist in determining which functions within the firm can be automated, as well as reskilling people whose jobs are disrupted by automation. More than half of the companies said they will use breakthrough techniques in HR's functions to deal with automation and digitization, according to a new Wills Tower Watson survey. Meanwhile, as globalization leads to more diversified workforce, some of our HR's distant workers will become even more remote, as in 7 or 10 times zones away. Now, her next point is market a modern benefit package. Offering benefit package that appeals to the modern worker is critical to attracting and retaining talent. This includes not only parental leaves and flexi time, but also caregiver leave, extended fertility benefits, gender reassignment and transformation assistance, financial and wellness programs, and a myriad of other benefits that will help with life's major milestones. Although recruitment marketing exists currently, given the demographics and necessity for attracting people, it is becoming increasingly important. Now, HR compliance will continue to revolve around test rules. However, as the workforce evolves, HR will need to adopt in order to comply with the rules governing the new economy and remote workers. There will also certainly be sustained focus on pay equity, prompting HR to figure out how to build a compensation structure that allows the company to recruit top talent while being compliant with the law. And the last point in this is be certified. And that's what we are doing at World University to update your skill set. Human resources professionals must broaden their expertise of both traditional jobs and overall business strategies as many HR services become automated or outsourced. The future of human capital management is continually evolving with numerous new regulations affecting how we interview, pay, train, safeguard, privacy, and so on. HR workers should take advantage of educational possibilities. Certification often leads to higher salary and more promotions, according to HR veterans. In a survey done by PayScale poll, certification raised the probability of being promoted within 5 years by more than 21% for HR assistants and over 25% for HR directors. Now, the study discovered that the higher a person's title, the more likely they are to hold HR certification. Salaries for people with official certification are typically higher. HR certificate holders, they made roughly 32% more than those without qualifications. In a 2018 survey done by PayScale, this was what was quoted. Now, all signs indicate that HR will look very different in the next 4 or 5 years. I can really envision a day when HR is no longer HR. Not only will HR leaders administer business decisions, they will help make those decisions as trusted workforce advisors. Now, there are 3 steps to the future to have a human approach in the industry 5.0. Now, first one is set the enterprise mindset for your organization by making humanization a strategic priority, fostering coordination and collaboration across practices and departments so employees can align on your mission and vision. Now, during these last 4 or 5 years of unprecedented instability, leaders in every sector and region have been managing their organization for resilience through 3 phases. Now, first came the response when leaders made bold decisions to adapt and accelerate transformation to their organizations, could weather rapidly changing conditions. And next was recovery, which included reflecting, rethinking, and rebooting the business to emerge from the crisis stronger than before. It's now time to focus on ensuring your organizations will thrive in this changed landscape by embracing the future of work through new insights and capabilities. And to thrive, one must have human approach. And human approach must take a rethinking and rebuilding worth to prioritize people above all else. Second is recognize worth itself as a motivator. By clearly defining your goals and then inspiring and energizing your employees to apply their own innovative and creative thinking to meet those goals. And third one is reorient your organization's focus to future potential, not your past performance, by inviting people to imagine and pursue new possibilities. Now, how can we put these concepts into practices? Now, put these concepts into practices, organization will need to make 3 significant shifts in the workforce, and workplace. So 3 shifts in the workforce, and workplace. Number 1, work from process to flow. People don't work the same way machines do. People are different from machines. We are programmed not to operate in rote routines, but rather to operate with human nature, bringing our ideas, motivations, and creativity. We change course and tactics to achieve different outcomes and enable new aspirations. Now, for an organization, redesigning processes to put humans at the center and infuse more meaning into their work, what can it mean? It can mean, number 1, pushing your leadership to unlock human potential to achieve bigger outcomes. Number 2, to apply technological capabilities to enable and elevate human capabilities. And number 3, emphasizing not on optimizing work outcomes, but unlocking the flow of work. Number 2 is workforce from structure to capabilities and potential. Now, with rapid changes to technology, customer needs, and employment structures, the workforce continues to change from traditional models and workers themselves drive much of this change as they want greater flexibility, whether in their physical location or in their job description. The most important factor executives in one of the recent Deloitte survey they cited for thriving in a continually disrupted business landscape is the workers' ability to adapt, reskill, and assume new roles. So what they want is ability to adapt, reskill, and assume new roles. But only, that was the irony, but only 70% of the executives feel their workforce is ready to do this. So there is a large scope for uh, creating, training the personnel to train them for the ability to adapt, to reskill them, and so that they can assume new roles. Because only 70% of executives, they feel that their workforce is now ready for this. So in the organization, you can unleash your workforce creativity and flexibility by building a strategy to achieve greater outcomes through a broader talent ecosystem. Number two, using technology to support human power, encouraging insights and uncover opportunities. And third one is personalizing and elevating the work experience to help people reach greater potential. Now, third one and the last one is last practice is at the workplace, from physical to organization and culture. Even before the pandemic, the notion of the traditional workplace was rapidly disappearing. Today, the workplace is no longer a building or an office. And in the next session, Dr. Mitu Mata would delve more onto it. Today's office is rather a mindset that comprises the processes, policies, and cultures that encourage collaboration and engagement among all physical locations. I repeat this. Today, the workplace is no longer a building or an office, but rather a mindset that comprises the processes, policies, and cultures that encourage collaboration and engagement among the physical locations. Organization can now rethink workplace as a flexible, adaptable hybrid that can continually adapt using both the assets of the physical space and best digital practices. Reorienting your work environment to optimize human potential may mean redesigning your physical and digital environments with an emphasis on collaboration and culture building, ensuring leaders can build trust and confidence through a culture of belonging and safety, and prioritizing humans' well-being by adapting to workers' personal preferences and needs. Now, what is the future of work? Transforming and leading into the future of work is unique to every organization, as each has its own mission, challenges, goals, and outcomes. And it's not a singular shift, but an evolving process. For your organization, the key to thriving is to support a vision for the future that focuses on the power of your organization's humanity. So you can unleash human creativity and create lasting value for your organization, your people, and your world. Thank you very much. Now we are open to a question and answer session, and these were the contents I explained on. I'll give you a PDF also. I'll send in a PDF on the chat also, so that outlines can be revisited by any person.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev Verma sir. You used such a lucid style of talking that even I was mesmerized.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And in fact, I had been receiving questions from participants, which I would like to pose to you, but as of now, I'm not doing it because I want to let you know as which were the outstanding points that you had made for the benefit of the participants. One, that for the first time I found a person of systems who is talking about the mind-machine interface and increasing it more during the ensuing Industry 5.0. The next brilliant idea that you brought forth, that the daily wager is no longer a daily wager as such, because he is workforce at large and he should be equally, because nomad situation is becoming a reality where people are not in love with the organization, they are in love with the profession. So irrespective of the organization, they take the human capital that they have, and every CEO should take care of this in future. One brilliant idea that you brought forth was that the latest cutting edge technology, the latest breakthrough should be implemented by HR professionals in the organizations, otherwise they will be lagging behind. And as they say, that a seat on the table may not become a reality for them. And the last point that was simply superb, that work itself should be the motivator. And managers and C-suite executives in future will have to take care of this. So I have received one question from a student in Hartford, USA. She wanted to know what is the difference between temps and daily wagers. So I think she is pluralizing that temporary implies as temps, and then she is using daily wager.
See, temporary workers may or may not be on the daily wages in the strict HR terminology. In what we in India, temporary workers, it can be that employed for a short period of time. He can be on a monthly salary or like that, but daily wages he would get on the basis of the number of hours or the number of days input by the person. And he may, in India, he may or may not get some of the benefits which other permanent or temporary workers may get. So major difference is that temporary workers, mostly they would get their on monthly salary or weekly salary as it happens in the foreign countries. But over in India, we have daily wages. They are paid on the basis of the days input by a worker.
Okay, great. I think Tracy will be happy about it in order to have her hazy thought clarified by you wonderfully. I have received a question from a participant from Assumption University, Bangkok, and he wants to know as how breakthrough technology or cutting edge technology be implemented in HR. Can you give an example to him?
See, these days, even in the smaller organization, large organizations, they already have, even in the smaller organization in our part of India, many processes are being automated. For example, the payroll making is completely automated. No intervention is required. Person comes in the morning, logs in automatically on through his face or the thumb, and his data gets input, and his salary, when he goes out, salary being made. So no human intervention is required over here in the payroll system, number one. Number two, most of the information, whenever, for example, when one wants to know that how many leaves are balanced, how many hours I have put in or how many days I have put in. So nowadays there is no require. Earlier people were they were approaching HR personally, physically in the HR department, that you should tell me what are my balance leaves. But nowadays there is nothing like that. You just give a question to the bot, chat bot, or the co-bot in HR, and the answer will come automatically on maybe on your WhatsApp or on the bot, internal bot of the company. So this is second. Third is many of the, for example, it was a very troublesome experience earlier to get a leave. Now, I mean, one has to fill in the written application, then approach the senior to get it the approval. No, nothing like that in these days. Technology is being used everywhere to uh, uh, get the leave to or approve it. And next, even the output made by the humans, they're all automated. No requirement, even the bar charts, codes are written on whatever are put affixed on whatever we do, and the outputs are calculated, and thereby incentives are also being given by the HR department to the persons of outstanding performance through automatically. No human intervention is required these days. And HR department of the large company is being managed by 2-3 persons, which were not the case earlier. I mean, there were 10-20 persons for an organization of 1,000 persons, like that. Nowadays, only 2 persons or maybe 1 person manages the all persons of 1,000 workforce.
Professor, though, I mean, there are some more questions, but I think that they are repetitive, and as a moderator, I don't want to drag you again into that. You are part of the fraternity known as World University. So, on behalf of the participants and on behalf of the people who made me to interact with you, and of course participants as well, I thank you so much on their behalf and on my personal behalf as well.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir. It was my privilege to be associated with you.
No,
Thank
I
you very
mean,
much, sir. Thank you very much.
all of us are privileged to be part of the World University.
Yes.
So have a fabulous day ahead.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll take a break, and then we'll reassemble at 45 minutes past 10.
Okay. Thank you.
Then we are. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.